Hello, everybody. We will wait a couple more minutes for everyone to get into the room. We are waiting slightly more people than we have in the room right now. So we will be back in 2 minutes. Hello, and welcome to Japan Online Week on this beautiful Wednesday afternoon, or evening, or late Tuesday night for those of you who are joining outside of Europe. Thank you for joining us today on the second day of our online manga and anime event, brought to you by Wacom, Clip Studio Paint, Pixiv, and S by Applibot. Today we have a great session waiting for you with Tenjin-san. But before we jump into the presentation, let me just share some of the basic housekeeping rules with you all. The session is going to last roughly 1 hour, and we will have time for answering the questions you might have towards the end. With so many of you folks in the room, we probably won't be able to answer all the questions, but we will do our best, I promise. Please use the Q&A function of Zoom for your questions to our presenter and about the presented content. For technical issues like the screen share not functioning properly, or if you're having trouble with the audio, please use the chat box. We are all creatives and enthusiasts of Japanese manga and anime art here, so please be kind and do not spam the chat feed. And especially in the chat feed, when there is an overload of comments, it decreases the performance for everyone. So I kindly ask you not to excessively post comments on the chat box. And thank you for your understanding. And this session is being recorded, and it will be available on Wacom YouTube page next week. You will also receive an email next week with links, additional information, and some special offers from our sponsors. If you're new to Zoom, please do check out the gallery view and speaker view options on top to find the best viewing experience for yourself. Just click around freely, you cannot break anything. And you can also adjust the slider between screen share and the camera feeds to find the ideal settings for your viewing pleasure. Now, who we are, the organizers of this event. For those of you who don't know Wacom, we have been around for about 40 years, and we are pioneers of digital pen input technology. So every time you need to work or create on a computer and realize the mouse or the trackpad is not going to do the job, you might want to switch to a Wacom tablet. And for the rest of you who know who we are, it's so nice to see you all here again. We have Clip Studio Paint. Those of you who have been following our online sessions in the past few months are already very familiar with our growing partnership with Clip Studio Paint, and I will let Joanna do the introduction.
Thank you, Onur. So for those of you who don't know, Clip Studio Paint is versatile graphic software best suited for drawing and painting to create a wide range of content. With a wealth of unique features, it helps to create anything from illustrations over comics to concept art and animation. No matter if professional or hobbyist, Clip Studio Paint's natural drawing feel along with its comic features is loved by artists from around the world. It has also been one of the most popular software on the Japanese artist community site Pixiv.
And that's a great segue for me to move on to Pixiv. We have Pixiv and S by Applibot, also organizing and sponsoring this event. Pixiv is a social network platform for artists that focuses communication through their artwork. It was launched in September 2007 and specializes in artwork publication and communication based on the concept of make creativity more enjoyable. They have now over 50 million users and growing strong. You can visit and join the amazing community of Pixiv on pixiv.net/en. Our other host for this session, S by Applibot, are a group of creators that define themselves as unknown value. They are on a mission to reveal and define unexampled values to the world. And as the name S, Sign of Sense Studio, suggests, they utilize our individual sensitivities and project them in the artwork they create. The last two topics before we start. We have an amazing offer for you all. By using the code JAPAN15 during your checkout on Wacom Europe eStore, you can claim 15% discount on the following products that include Cintiq Pro 24 and 16, the Cintiq family, our brand new Wacom One with the Lamy pen bundle, along with Intuos Pro M and Intuos M with Bluetooth. Take a note of the code JAPAN15 and check out the eStore after the session is over. We also have another exclusive offer from Clip Studio Paint, and I will once again let Joanna explain it to you all.
Thank you. So for everyone participating on Zoom, we will have a question at the end of the webinar with which you can participate in our giveaway for one Clip Studio Paint Pro license for Windows or for Mac. So just answer the question at the end of the webinar and you're in the draw for one license. Also, we will send out with Wacom's communication a survey, and answering the survey will enter you in a raffle for a Clip Studio Paint Pro license for 3 months for Windows and Mac as well. And this offer is open for up to 100 people. So take your chance and participate in that one as well.
Thank you. All right, time to start. Today, we have Tenjin with us, and he will give us a very inspiring presentation on detailing fighter aircrafts. His presentation will be in Japanese, and our translator, Emmanuel, will translate it to English for you all. Without taking any more of your time, I will let the stage to Tenjin-san and Emmanuel.
Hello, everybody. I'm Emmanuel. Nice to meet you. I will be the interpreter. The main character will be Tenjin. I will let Tenjin introduce himself. He's speaking a bit of English, so we will speak most of the time in English, but sometimes he will need my help from Japanese to English. So please, Tenjin.
Okay. Hey guys. Hi everyone. Can you see me? Hi. Actually, thanks for coming to watch this event, and allow me introduce myself. I'm Hidetaka TENJIN, you know. Please call me Tenjin. Let's get started this event. Okay, at first, I will show you some of my piece. Please look at it. Oh, this window. Can you see this?
Yes, we can.
Okay.
Yes, 見えます.
All right. This is Evangelion. I'm a illustrator of and a Kotobukiya books artist, illustrator. Next is Godzilla and Pacific Rim. This is for the movie poster in Japan. Next is Iron Man. Do you know Iron Man? This is for the book cover for the new comics in America. The reflection. And next is, this is my old piece, Gundam. Do you know Gundam? This is Char Zack Special. Now this is digital art, better made by classical style brushing. This is very fun to me. For example, I'm always drawing the master grade box arts. And this is a Gundam lead frame. And other thing is to do the Patraver. I love Patraver. I'm a big fan of the Patraver. And this is a place of the old Tokyo and the broken lovers. Oh. So next is fighters. I love fighters, air fighters. This is a title with Area 88. This is a Blu-ray box art. So many people working on. This character is main character. It's cool. And next is bottoms. Do you know bottoms? Maybe this is a rare anime in overseas, but very popular in Japan. Very small robots, and this is mostly heavy damaged wizard. Yes, very dusty and smoke. とても汚いですね。
It's very dirty.
Yeah. Yeah. And next, 例えばマクロスで僕のことを知っている人は多いと思います。
There is a lot of people who is knowing him from Macross.
Like this. This is Macross Frontier for the movie version. I really love Macross and stuff of Macross. And I drew a lot of Macross pictures. This is 一番大変な絵でした。
It was the most difficult picture for him, most difficult to draw.
Yes. とても複雑でしたね。そして、これも同じようなテ
a lot
ーマ
of
で。
details very strange. On the main theme, on Macross theme, another illustration from Tenjin.
Yeah. This is the last scene of the Macross movie. Very beautiful green and blue.
Macross Frontier.
Yes, Frontier. And the next is Macross Delta. たまにはこういうふうにキャラクターも描くことがあります。
Sometimes you have to draw some characters.
And of course, and a lot of makers and beautiful makers. This is from Macross Delta. 次の作品は皆さんよく知っている作品だと思います。
The next one, I think everybody know.
Star Wars, X-Wing, Starfighter. これ皆さん知ってますか？
Do you know it?
とっても有名な、戦闘機ですね。
It's a very famous, very popular fighter.
日本のバンダイというおもちゃ会社のプラモデルキットのボックスアートを描いています。
It's a kit for a plamodel for Bandai, the very famous toys maker.
I'm a big fan of the Bandai's kits, and of course, I'm a big fan of the Star Wars. Really, really good. ですね。はい。まあ、他にもたくさん僕の作品はありますけど、時間がなくなっちゃうので、このぐらいにしましょう。
There is a lot of pictures and illustration from Tenjin, but we don't have so much time to see everything. So we're going on the next part.
Okay. All right. よいしょ。そう。じゃあ、まず、今日は、メカのビデオ あ、ごめんなさい。これ違った。I made a mistake.
So
Sorry.
we're going to start with a video from Mecha Design.
Make a design.
Mecha Design creation. So
Okay. じゃあスタートしてもいいですか？
so we're done.
Mm. 音楽も聞こえていますか？
Are you hearing the music? Is it too loud for you?
Okay, thanks. 今回は簡単に短時間で説明するために簡単なメカの書き方を説明しています。
He creates a very easy to explain Mecha Design.
ここら辺は細かいところなのであまりよく見えないかもしれません。
This part is very lots of details, so it's hard to see exactly what he's doing. So sorry about that.
とても細かい部分を描いています。
It's important to draw very lots of details.
こ make it little as possible. All right, thanks for watching. Okay. では、大体皆さん書き方わかりましたか？
So everybody, do you understand the way he drew it?
とても簡単でしょ？
It was very easy, right?
じゃあ、今見た中で、じゃあこれアンケートした方がいいのかな？
So we're going to start an enquete. Please, Onur, we have for 90 seconds an enquete.
<clears throat> 皆さんが見たい説明を詳しく聞きたいというようなところをクリックしてみてください。
So please click on the part you will like to talk about specifically, and we are going to focus on this point.
I can't choose, some say. I agree.
It's going very competitive.
Yeah. Can be all.
Okay, last 10 seconds, guys. Please put in your
It was
vote.
It was hard to also find the point it may interest everybody.
Okay, let's see what is the decision of the audience.
Okay.
And the winner is Light and Shadow. A really narrow win over details.
All right.
Light Shadow と Details の方がメインですね。はい。
じゃあ
Light and Shadows and
じゃあ
Details.
Light and Shadow を説明しましょ
So we're going to speak about first Light and Shadows.
う。では、では説明をしますよ。
So I'm going to explain it. Tenjin is going to explain it.
First, I drew a draft of the fighter picture. So I will paint it according to the distance from the viewpoint. And first, like this. But this is 分割されています。例えば、 遠い場所。
Parts by parts. So for first, we are starting with rear things on the back.
で、真ん中の部分をピンクに塗りました。
And on pink, it's the middle things.
Okay, 次がorange point.
And then orange point.
これは穴やウィンドウの中の部分をペイントしています。
It's holes and the windows.
Yes, and a whole lazy area and pressed in the surface filled with oranges. So the last part, blue. The blue color section are parts of the face out towards the camera view. 一番近い部分ですね。
It's the more, the blue part is the part which is more next to you, very.
距離によってパーツを分けてから塗り出すととても簡単になります。
When you are painting it from the distance, it's easier to paint it, make the skill.
でも、まずここから、じゃあ、ライト&シャドウはここからです。
So we're going to speak about light and shadows.
For example, 例えば、このように前からライトを当てたりすることと、
When we are making some light from the front,
例えば反対側からライトを当てた場合、
and if you're making light from the other side,
This is the right A. そして下からライトを当てた場合、
and from the back, from under, sorry, from under, if you put the light under.
Yeah. 皆さんの印象が変わると思います。飛行機に対して。
So you have a different impression, personal impression about the plane, about the fighters.
例えば、まず最初のこれ。
The first one, the B light.
Light B。これは、とても全体が明るく見えます。
Everything is very lightful. Every part of the plane is very lightful.
その代わり、なので、逆に悪い印象はありません。とても明るく見えています。
So you don't have a bad feeling about the aspect. It's a good, very lightful feeling, a very good feeling about it.
その代わり、形状がよく、その曲面の形状が分かりにくくなっています。
So it's very difficult to understand the parts on the details.
それに対して向こう側から光を当てるとこういうふうになります。
And if you put on the other side the light, you will feel like this one. You will see like this.
この場合、手前側が黒い面積ができて、でも明るい部分もありますね。
You have the main part of the fighter. You have a very dark part, but other part will be very lightful.
はい。で、かつ手前の翼に影が落ちるので、翼の形状を示すことができます。
The good things it's with the shadow going on the part of the fighters, you can see the wing more, the aspect of the wing more detailedly.
でさっきのものと比べて、
If you compare the two versions,
どちらが形状がよくわかるかということを考えながら光の方向を決めていきます。
Which one will you more understand the volume, the aspect, the general aspect of the flight or the fighter?
例えばこういう場合、
If you're doing like underlight,
この場合も実際の飛行機が飛んでいる場合にはよくある光景ですけれども、下からライトが当たっているので少し不気味な感じに見えてきます。
it's a very strange kind of light because it's even it's a normal view of a flight of the fighters. You don't have the light in a regular way, so it's very strange. It's weird.
ストレンジというよりは不気味、なんか気持ちが悪いっていう方がいいかな。怖い。
So it's not regular. So you, in a way, you are afraid of this kind of fighters. The dark image.
そうですね。悪役のイメージになります。
So you have an image as an evil.
はい。で、私の仕事というのは商品をいかに魅力的に 描いて、その商品を欲しいと思ってもらえるかが一番大事なことです。
And what is very important in the job is to show the best part of the product. So you have to be the more joyful when you see it.
そういった意味で、実際に他の作品もそうですけども、影をそうやってコントロールして、一番そのメカが美しく見えて、かつ立体的にどういう形状をしているのかが見えるような光を選びましょう。
So the most important thing when you're making this kind of mecha design is to choose the light point of view, and so it would be more realistic to how you can see it more realistic and easy to see, easy to understand.
ということで、このように光の位置を書くとき、決めるということはとっても大事なことです。
So it's very important to choose where the light is coming from.
はい。しかし、フォトリアリズムってわかるかな？
同じ言語で大丈夫です。
そうですね。で、for photorealism, you have to get the right source and shadow positions correct. But for my job is to show the product's details and features with some artistic freedom. ということで、決して必ず正確である必要はありません。一番その描きたいものが美しく見えるように光をコントロールしましょう。
So it's not a regular light. You have to choose the light depending how you want to make in the better view to show the product to the customers. So what is the best way? It's not only the light, it's depend what you want to show and to draw.
そして影の色ですが、こうやって今回ブルーのハードライトレイヤーでブルーの色をつけています。
So this time he will make a shadow with a blue light.
そうすることによって、これも後で変えることができる色なので、バックグラウンドによってどんどん影の色というものをコントロールしていかなければいけません。
So what is very important, you can change it after. So when you're making your background, you will have to change also the color of your shadow. So you have to take really care of it.
ですね。はい。じゃあ次は、今のは基本の Light and Shadow で、次は Details。はい。
So we spoke about light and shadows, and now we're going to speak about details.
で、ディテールは、とにかく私の絵が好きな人は、ディテールが細かい絵は大好きなんではないでしょうか。
So what the people who love my draws, I'm sure they love details.
はい、ディテールを描く作業というのはとても楽しいものです。
Working on details, it's very, very funny.
例えばこういうオイルの汚れ。
For example, you have some oil mark on the fight.
これを描くときに飛行機だったら何を気にする必要があるでしょうか？
When you're drawing the oil marks on your plane, what is important?
まず飛行機は飛ぶものですから空気の流れを意識して汚れを描いてあげることです。
Because fighters are flying, you have to take care of the wind. And the way the wing is going along the fighters.
Wind flow かな？なんか
Wind flow そうです。
そうですね。Wind flow ですね。
Wind flow.
こんな感じで。
Like this.
書いて指でこすってあげる。
So it's you draw it and then you raise it with your finger in a way.
フィンガーツールでこすってあげることが、で、空気の流れを意識してあげることが大事です。
So you can, using the finger tools, you can have the wind flow aspect.
で、ここで大事なことなのですけども、weathering っていうのは、ただ汚れているということを示すのではなくて、実は機体のメカの形状を表現するのにとても重要な役割があります。
What is very important is not showing that it's dirty. What is very important is the realistic part of the maker.
という、例えばプレイのシェイプを説明するのに、ただ汚れているのではなくて、機体の形状に沿って汚れているから、それを示すことができます。
So it's possible to show that is also using the metal on the flight, on the fighter, by using the tools.
ですね。
It's very easy to see it.
なので、綺麗な機体だからといって、汚れがないというわけではなくて、本当に何が原因で汚れているかっていうのを考えながらやると、とても絵が現実的に生きてきますね。
So what is very important when you're making your dirty parts, or when the shape is changing because of the dirty, it's thinking why it's dirty, why the shape is changing. If you think about this, it will be more realistic.
例えば、
For example,
光がない状態だと、エイジングはこんな感じですね。
So if you put off the color, you can see all the dirty parts, the shape, and the change of the aspect.
そして、例えばこれは影の部分。
And this is the shadows.
そして、明るい部分。
Light parts.
ですね。細かく、そして、エイジングの中には傷もありますね。
So you have some broke parts on it, also some scratch.
このスクラッチっていうのはとても大事で、実はこれはただつけるのではなくて、これがもし大きすぎると、その描きたいメカはとてもちっちゃく見えてしまいます。その機体の大きさ、メカの大きさを表すために、その傷が何でできた傷なのかというのを明確にする必要があります。
So you have to think about why these crutches are present on the flight. Why there is some crutches, and what is very important also is not to make a very too big scratch. Otherwise, the plane will look thinner than it is.
なので、傷をつけるというのは、どうやって傷をつけたのか、傷がついてしまったのか、そこをよーく考えながら、丁寧に傷をつけていきましょう。
So when you're making scratches on the flight, on the wings, for example, like it's showing now, it's very important to make very delicately on each part, thinking of each scratches.
はい、それを丁寧にやることによって機体の大きさ、つまり出来上がった時にそのメカがちゃんとした大きさに見えるためにはそれが必要なのです。
So to look as the best size as you want to, the scale as you want to show it, these kind of details like the scratches are quite important.
はい、また、もしパイロットが見える部分があった場合、例えばコックピットですね。その場合は特に丁寧にそこを仕上げましょう。
So we're going to speak about the cockpit and the pilots because we can see them.
うん。そうすると、人間のサイズが分かる部分というのは、その機械の大きさを示すことができる重要な部分だと思ってください。
So seeing humans, seeing pilots is quite important because we know the size of a pilot. We know how tall it can be, so we can imagine the size, the scale of the fighter. So it's easy to understand. So that's why the pilot inside is quite important on the cockpit.
そしてそのパイロットが見えるときは、パイロットに意思があるように描きましょう。それがその人が生きている。生きているということは、その機械、乗っている機械も生きているという証明になるのです。
Making a pilot like he is alive with a soul, it's very important. So because the pilot has a soul, because he's living, the plane also will live, will exist.
さて、特にこういう古い飛行機の場合の話をすると、昔の飛行機は鉄板、なんです。スチールパネルはデコボコしています。
It's a very old fighter. So when they were making this old-fashioned fighters, you have to think of the steel panel. Steel panels are not very flat as now. They are very with a lot of shock on it. So it's very different from now. And so you have to think about this aspect.
はい。そういうところを描いていくと、とてもリアルな表面ができると思います。もちろん近づいたときは雑に見えるかもしれませんけど、はい。そして最後にリフレクションを加えましょう。
So what is quite important also is if you think really about this, and you will have more realistic parts. So don't forget about this kind of details. And now we're going to work about the reflection.
はい。そういうところですね。はい。そうやって、
So it's about this.
はい。そうすると、で、これで BC を足すと。はい。ち
So
ょっと離れると。
So we're going more backward to see the background.
はい。とすると、大体今のでディテールの説明を終わります。
So we just finished now the explanation about details.
今回は簡単ないつも書いてるロボットのようなメカの説明にしてしまうとものすごく時間かかってしまうので一番簡単に書けるその昔のクラシックプレーンを書いてみました。でもテクニック自体は全部同じなので怖がらずにやってみてください。
So why he drew this old-fashioned fighters? It's because it's will be more easier to speak about it, and moreover because if it's a robot, they will need more times. And but the base is the same. The lineup will be the same to work on it. So it's more easy to understand, more easy to work on it, and to explain it for you.
というところです。はい。じゃあどうしましょう。Q&A 行きましょうか。
So Onyo, are we going to go on a Q&A, right? Are you okay?
Yes, absolutely. If you also feel good.
We're okay.
Yeah, the chat panel is booming with questions and also the Q&A. And to my huge delight, I have noticed that there's also a Discord channel for the webinars, and everybody is so excited about it. So I'm just looking through the general questions, and we have a couple of very popular topics. The first one is basically what to look for, what to pay attention to when you are drawing mechas or mechanical vehicles, basically, and robot suits and things like that. Like what to look for and what to pay more attention to.
何が一番大事なのが、何が自分にとってキーポイント。
キーポイント。は、よくメカと人を別に考える考え方があるんですけど、実は私はそれを違うと思っています。
Most of the people are thinking that mecha design and character design are very different. For Tenjin, it's the same thing.
デザインというよりは絵を描くことにおいて、例えば時計はメカですよね。で、キャラクターはキャラクター。で、メガネはキャラクターかと思ったらこれもメカなんですね。
What is very funny, it's if I show you a watch will be mecha design, but the characters with the watch will be character design, but the eyes of the character will be mecha design.
で、なので、実は硬い、柔らかいっていう違いはありますけど、メカだから気をつけてるっていうことは特になくて、同じ世界に生きているものとして描いていますから、あまりね、分けて描くとね、苦手意識ができちゃうんです。それは気をつけた方がいい。
I think what is the key point is to not focus on mecha design or character design. It's on the same point of view. It's the same thing. They are on the same world. So you have to focus it. Otherwise, you will have some problem to write each other. So it's better to think it's the same word.
はい。大丈夫でしょうか。他にはありますか？
Great.
Do you have any questions?
Yes. So another question. This is less about the work and the piece that you have demonstrated, but more about your approach to work. And basically, popular question. Usually, how much time does it take for you to finish a piece? And when do you decide that it's done with all the details and lighting? Like, is there a moment? How do you decide that?
It's up to the line. You get me? もう全然決まってないですね。まるでその平均アベレージはないですね。はい。
Most of the time, it's just because of the delay. When you have a time limit, you have to confront of the time limit. So it depends of what they ask him to make in time. So otherwise, you don't have a special time. So how long it will take for him to make it, to draw it.
例えばでもこの絵だったら5時間ぐらいかな。
すみません、もう一回。
すみません。For example, in this case, for the drawing like this very classical fighter, it takes around 5 or 6 hours. Yep. Very simple.
Thank you. Is there any, especially for the beginners and those who are still developing their skills, if you had like one or two key areas that you recommend them to focus on, and also maybe some very common mistakes that you recommend them to avoid?
エマニュエル、よろしく。
自分の経験の中に、今勉強中の人たちがまだいるので、その勉強中している人たちは、何かした方がいいとか、やめた方がいいとか、勧められることがあるのでしょうか？
そうだね。いろいろな答えがあると思うんですけども、いいものばっかり見てると、なんでそれがいいのかがわからなくなっちゃうので、僕はみんながダメって言ってるものを見るのもとても勉強になると思ってます。
For Tenjin, what is a good thing to do? If you're looking, if you're watching only for good things, you will not to say why it's good at the end. So if a lot of people are saying it's not a very good thing, it's a very bad movie or bad comic and bad draws or wrong draws. So if you have something bad, you have to see it, you have to watch it to understand what is not going on.
そうですね。はい。いいものはいいことの方がすごく隠れているんで、素人には分かりにくいんですよね。でも、あんまダ作と呼ばれるものというのは、ダメなところがよーく見えちゃうんで、その方が勉強になったりします。だから名作ばっかり見ないようにして、いろいろ見てください。
And what is important is not only to see its movies or something very good, because for beginners it's hard to understand what is going on, what is good on this pictures, on these movies, what is good. But if you're looking something bad, it will be easy for you to understand what is going wrong on these things. So you have to see a lot of things and to be very open-minded and watch a lot of things.
Anything
Great tips,
else?
great things to keep in mind. Maybe one last question or last two questions. This was also mentioned a couple of times, especially when you're drawing these sci-fi inorganic vehicles or constructions. How do you balance the reality aspect of it with the proportions and the dimensions of it to look believable?
異世界のものを描いているときにはどうやってそれを、形状にするとかリアル的にバランス、プロスケールのバランスとかプロポーションのバランスを取れるのでしょうか。
そうですね。アイデアの元というのは割と実は身の回りに転がっているもので、例えばそのある種の動物とか花とか世の中にある自然なものっていうのは自然にあっていいものなんですよ。だからそういうものを参考にしながら形をかたどっていくことが多いですね。
So what is when we're making this kind of draws and like an SF and all the stuff, what is important, you have to be inspired from the natures. So from animals and for vegetables, animals and vegetables are normal in the nature. So you have to be inspired from the nature to make the better draws.
Thank you. Thank you so much. We have way too many questions to go through each one by one, but definitely we might be able to go through some of the questions additionally and include them in our follow-up communication on our newsletter. And I'm sure our viewers, our attendees will be flooding you with additional questions on your social media accounts. But right now, I will just start sharing my screen and let's slowly go through the closing part.
これから終わるところになります。
はい。
で、
クロージングポイントはどうする？
質問、 向こうからやりますので、
はいはい。わかりました。
これからもう、天神さんのSNS などにたくさん質問が来ると思いますけれども、
はい。
モアコムさんの、SNS のところでも、天神さんのところでもたくさん質問が来ると思うので、クリプスタジオさんの、
はい、
なので、たくさん質問が来るので気をつけてくださいね。
はい。聞きます。
これから、ね、たくさんあるので。
こちらこそありがとうございました。本当にたくさんの人々が来てくれたようで。はい。
Thanks to everyone to come and so see you on SNS.
I hope you'll be seen there. Oh, もう終わった
Sorry.
まだまだ
Oh, so never mind. It's okay.
話していい。
大丈夫
Okay.
I hope you stay safe, everyone. And someday I hope you to see you directly and want to try to shake hands. Someday, yeah. See you. Take
Thank you
care.
so much, Tenjin-san. We would love to see you again. Okay, so as you all remember, we had mentioned a quiz. Joanna mentioned a quiz at the beginning of the session. So now it's time for that. And Joanna, would you like to take it up?
Yes. No worries, it's not a hard quiz, if it is a quiz at all, but you will get the question, and everyone who participates and chooses to get it right will have the chance to win a Clip Studio Paint Pro license for Windows or Mac. So you can take your pick at the pop-up window that will come up now. So we plan to inform the winner roughly next week about the prize, and we will send it directly by email. So take your chance now and try your best.
$85% already.
Oh, wow.
Come on, we can hit 90%.
Very good. Yeah, for this session, Tenjin-san also decided to use Clip Studio Paint, so.
It's really nice tools, I think, yeah.
Okay, let's see the results.
Whoa, thanks.
Whoa. That's even more than before, I'm
Thanks
sure.
so much.
Okay, so out of all the people who want to, we will choose one winner and inform them as soon as possible. Thank you very much for participating.
Thank you all. And to wrap up, please do follow us on social media at Wacom, at Clip Studio Official, at Pixiv_EN, and SSS by Applibot with an underscore in between all the words. And don't forget to follow our presenter Tenjin on social media at Tenjin_Hidetaka. Please do visit our event webpage to check out and register for the upcoming sessions while you still have time. Otherwise, this will be it from us for this session. Again, thank you all, and thank you to you, Tenjin-san. It was an amazing, super inspiring presentation, and also to you, Emmanuel, for your translations and helping us really deeply understand everything, all the details. And thank you all for joining us today. We are leaving now, but in about an hour, we will have our next and the final session of the day, workshop with Sarajin Chung, as known as the one with Bear. So hope to see you all there again, and take care. Bye-bye.